All right, welcome to Talk Tickers. Today, we are diving into one of the most, and I mean the most, explosive earnings reports we've seen this season. We're talking about Insulet. And let me tell you, what they delivered in Q2 wasn't just a beat. It was a complete and total reset of expectations.
And you better believe the market paid attention. On August 7th, right after the release, the stock just took off like a rocket, surging nearly 10%. You just don't see moves like that without a very, very good reason.
So that's the big question, right? What on earth happened to cause such a massive reaction? Well, that's what we're here to figure out. We're going to unpack the numbers, we're going to look at the strategy, and we're going to get into the real story behind Insulet's absolutely incredible quarter.
Okay, let's get right into it. The reason for that huge stock pop really boils down to one simple thing. Insulet posted a blowout quarter. And I'm not just saying they did well. They absolutely demolished Wall Street's expectations on every single important metric.
So check out these numbers. The revenue, yeah, that was impressive. Over $649 million, a good 6% above what analysts were looking for. But look at the bottom line. Adjusted earnings per share came in at $1.17. The consensus was 92 cents. That's a nearly 27% beat. You know, that's not just a beat. That's the sign of a company with some serious operating leverage kicking in.
And this wasn't just some one-off beat. The company's momentum right now is just staggering. We're talking about revenue growth of almost 33% year over year. For a company this size, seeing that kind of acceleration, well, that is exactly the kind of thing that gets growth investors really, really excited.
But hold on, because here's where the story gets even better. It wasn't just about selling more stuff. Look at these margins. The profitability is just exploding. That adjusted operating margin expanded by 670 basis points. That's a 6.7 percentage point jump from last year. So what does that tell you? It tells you that as they get bigger, they're getting way more efficient and profitable. That's the magic formula.
So, what's the engine behind all these incredible numbers? Well, it's pretty clear. The growth is almost entirely being driven by the phenomenal adoption of their main product, the Omnipod 5 Automated Insulin Delivery System.
And this chart right here, this tells a huge part of the story. The core type 1 diabetes market, still going strong. But look at this. A third of all new customers in the US are now people with type 2 diabetes. This is a huge deal. Why? Because that type 2 market is just massively bigger than their original base. They are unlocking a whole new level of growth. And here's the kicker. They're not just stealing market share from other pump companies. No, they are actually growing the entire market. Think about this. Over 85% of their new users are people who are previously on multiple daily injections. They're convincing people to leave the old, painful way of doing things behind. That's a game changer.
And this quote from their new CEO, Ashley McEvoy, just nails it. Patients see us as a pod, not a pump. By making it seem like a simple wearable device, they've made this advanced tech feel easy and approachable. It's not this scary pump, it's a pod. And that simple shift has opened the door to millions of patients who never would have considered it before.
And the real-world impact is just profound. You know, on the earnings call, they shared a couple of stories that really bring these numbers to life. We heard about Jack, a 91-year-old veteran who finds it easier than his old injections, and Samantha, a teenager who finally felt confident enough to go to sleepovers and wear what she wanted. It's a powerful reminder that this isn't just about selling a product, it's about giving people their lives back. Now, this whole success story isn't just an American thing. No. Insulet is moving fast to build out its tech ecosystem all around the world. They're integrating with the latest and greatest glucose sensors from partners like Dexcom and Abbott in huge markets like Germany and Australia. What this does is it creates this powerful platform that gives patients more choice, more convenience, and that's how you win. Okay, so all of this crazy growth isn't just happening by accident. It's all being guided by a very smart, very deliberate strategy. Management has this mantra they call scale with control, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Go for aggressive growth, but do it with rock-solid financial discipline. And this slide just lays out the playbook perfectly. Look at the scale side. You've got that explosive revenue growth, record new customers, and a huge 5-point raise to their full-year forecast. Awesome! But then look at the control side. While they're hitting the gas, they're also cleaning up the balance sheet, paying down debt, getting better loan rates, even buying back stock. It's like they're playing offense and defense at the same time, and it is beautiful to watch.
So, what about the future? Well, the new CEO has laid out a crystal clear roadmap for everyone to see.
These 4 priorities. They show a clear focus on maximizing what they have right now while hitting the accelerator on R&D to build the next big thing. For an investor, this gives you a ton of confidence about where the company's headed.
So, with a story this good, what did Wall Street think? Let's just say the reaction was not subtle. The verdict from investors and analysts was unanimous, and it was overwhelmingly bullish.
I mean, you don't have to be a stock market genius to get this chart. A 66% return in 1 year, that doesn't just beat the S&P 500, it absolutely demolishes it. We're talking 4 times the return. And it leaves its own sector ETF completely in the dust. This is what true outperformance looks like, folks.
And it wasn't just investors gawing the stock. The professional analysts at the big banks were all over it. You saw this chorus of price target hikes, one after another, from Jefferies, RBC, Morgan Stanley. They all saw what we're seeing, a fantastic quarter and an even brighter future.
Which brings us to the grand finale. It's time for the Talk Ticker's verdict. After digging through all of this, what is our forward-looking call on Insulet?
Let's be real. After a quarter this good and a run-up in the stock this big, the main question every investor has is, what's next? Is the party over, or is there still more room to run? Well, our call is clear. Outperform. We think this story has legs. Insulet is firing on all cylinders. You've got accelerating growth, a massive new market opening up in type 2 diabetes, and a management team that is executing flawlessly. We believe this company is set to keep on winning.
And that leads us to our trade idea. The next big thing to watch for is the company's Investor Day on November 20th. Our thesis is that the good news is going to keep rolling. We expect them to announce some ambitious new long-term targets and give more color on their global expansion. So, how could you play that? One idea is a bullish call spread. It's a strategy that lets you position for more upside going into that event. But, and this is key, it also clearly defines and limits your risk.
And that's our take on Insulet's absolutely phenomenal quarter. This has been a Talk Tickers analysis, and as always, just a final reminder, this is not financial advice.